Hello my friends, welcome to today's video. My name is Chelsea and I'm so happy that you're here today. I have the house to myself this weekend and I thought, you know, the best way to spend a weekend alone at home are 24-hour readathons. Now there are a couple of different methods that I've seen people do 24-hour readathons. There is the, stay up all night and read straight for 24 hours. I'm not doing that. And then there's the timer method where you set a timer for 24 hours and then you just run the timer when you're reading and pause it when you're not reading to see how much you read in actual 24 hours. Now, I'm not doing that one either. I am going to read for a 24-hour period. So we are starting this readathon at 5 p.m. and we will run till tomorrow at 5 p.m. Now, I do plan on sleeping, obviously, but I think I will try to stay up a little bit later and maybe wake up a little bit earlier to see how much reading I can actually get done. Let's talk about the TBR. I am currently reading Lady of Darkness on my Kindle. It is a fantasy romance on Kindle Unlimited. I'm on page 300 and there are about 550-ish pages. I'm really enjoying this book so far. It is the first in a series. I think there's 5 books in this series. There's a lot of secrets that we still don't know the answers to. I'm hoping we'll get some of the answers by the end of book 1, but I have a feeling a lot of things are going to roll over to book 2. But I am really enjoying this book so far. This is Tori Between the Pages book club pick for May. And then I have a couple of books that are definite I have to read this book this weekend. And then I have a couple of we'll see where my mood takes me, what I want to pick up next. So the priority books for this readathon are The Ballad of Darcy and Russell by Morgan Matson. She is one of my favorite YA contemporary romance authors, and this book just came out. It's her newest release, and I think it's over like the span of one night. It's kind of giving like one day vibes. So I'm excited to pick this up. She writes the swooniest, such cute romances, and this cover is just to die for. Like, I can't get enough of this book. I love Morgan. I love her books. I'm so excited to pick this up. And this one is just under 400 pages, which is very short for her, so I'm kind of surprised, but I think I'll fly through that one. Another book on my priority list is We'll Always Have Summer by Jenny Han. This is the third and final book in the Summer I Turned Pretty series. Now, the last 2 summers, we've gotten seasons of this TV show, and I usually reread the book that correlates with that season before the summer kicks off. We're not getting a season 3 this summer, but I thought I would continue tradition and read this and annotate. I am Team Conrad all the way, so this book is everything to me. I'm so excited to pick it up. Now, the first book coming up on my maybe if I feel like it, if we have time, I'm gonna read this book, is What Happened to Helen Rochester. It's on Kindle Unlimited. Someone sold it to me as like a good girl's guide to murder, but in college, and I'm very into that. I don't read a lot of thrillers, but if it's YA, I'll definitely pick it up. So I am excited to get to that. I think it's gonna be an easy breezy time. And if I just need like a palate cleanser, I'm hoping to pick that one up. And then finally, if we're dreaming big here, people, I really wanna pick up Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. This is the first book in the Dark Artifices. Yes, the Dark Artifices trilogy. I love the Shadowhunter world, like the Mortal Instruments, the Infernal Devices. These are some of my favorite book series of all time. And I am afraid to continue on in the Shadowhunter world because I know it's gonna hurt me. I know it's gonna hurt, but this is on my May TBR, and the series is on like my fantasy series to read in 2024 list, and it's on my 24 in 2024 list. So this one has to happen. I am excited. I am scared. I am stressed. I think I'm gonna love it, but I'm afraid. So it's also so chunky. It's almost 700 pages. So if we're dreaming big, this will also be picked up at some point in the next 24 hours. Now, that is my TBR for this video. I'm excited to start reading. I need to make a coffee, so we need a little pick-me-up to get us going. I have 8 minutes to get started. Let's go make a coffee, and then I'll settle in with Lady of Darkness, and I'll see you guys for my next check-in. Okay, I am 75% into Lady of Darkness, and I'm enjoying it. I really am. I just have a few qualms with this story. So, one, the magic system, like, has, what are the rules? I have no idea. And I do think we'll get more of these details in the future books because there's not a ton of magic in book one, but like there are no rules. Like I don't understand how someone can use a magic, and like are there boundaries? Are the like I just have no idea. So that's a little funny to me when it does come up. It doesn't make sense. Second of all, the two main characters, what I'm assuming is the enemies to lovers romance here, are so hot and cold with each other. Like in the chapter I just read, they're screaming at each other, and then they're like 1 minute later, they're so gentle and like kissy, and I'm just like, there has to be some sort of like growth from like hating each other to like having feelings for each other. Like I want to see the progression of that, and I do think we've seen some of that, but like the hot and cold, black and white, like push and pull is just a little too much for me. I don't know. I don't know if I'm making any sense or if it's just me, but I find it a little jarring. Like I need you to tone down like the hatred a little bit, like when we're getting closer, if that makes sense, closer to each other. In an enemies to lovers romance, like it's good to have banter. I need the banter, but I also feel like they should be not arguing and hating each other at 75% into the book when they're also like obviously find each other attractive and have feelings for each other. I don't know. It's just kind of a weird juxtaposition for me. Third thing, there are so many questions and like possible theories going on, and I feel like my issue is not having a lot of questions or a lot of things unanswered at this point in a book. My issue is they keep talking about it and like bringing up what they can't say every chapter. And I'm like, can you not talk about it all the time or give us some answers? Because it just feels like they're stringing it along for so many pages that it just feels like it's not like exciting anymore, or like I'm just kind of annoyed, like, okay, just tell me the answer now. And at 540 pages, like that's a lot of dragging out. I do think we're getting some answers now at 70% into the book, but there are still so many things that have come up that they're like, oh, I can't answer that, I can't talk about that, I won't tell you that. And I'm like, why are we talking about this every chapter? Like either tell me or don't bring it up all the time. So that's a little annoying. Overall, besides those three things, I really am enjoying the book. I think like the writing is pretty good. I'm intrigued to see like where the world building takes us, because there's a lot that we haven't discovered. There's a lot that we haven't been able to get to know or uncover. There's a lot of characters, there's a lot of immortal beings, a lot of different members of the cast that I want to know more about, that I hope we will get in later books. So at this point, I definitely think I'll pick up book 2, but those are just a few of my qualms that I have, and I'm hoping to finish this one soon. I think the ending is going to go by really fast, but overall I am enjoying, but those are my issues with Lady of Darkness. Just finished Lady of Darkness. I knew that ending was going to happen. I feel like I'm excited to see where this story is going to go. I do feel a little bit like our female main character is like a roller coaster of emotion, and I know she's going through a lot, and I don't want to discount that, but it's like whiplash with her, and it was kind of a lot. And I think in some of the writing, there would be like a really emotional moment, and it felt like very clinical. The writing felt very clinical, so I don't think I like got emotionally attached to any of our characters per se, but I do like where the story is gonna go. I don't like giving ratings like right after I finish a book because I feel like I need some time to process, but those are my current thoughts on Lady of Darkness. So book 1 down. I think the next book I'm going to pick up is We'll Always Have Summer by Jenny Han. I'm going to annotate this. I think I'm going to put on a movie or something in the background or show and just like jump right in. This is so cozy to me. This feels very nostalgic. This is like going home. So I'm excited to read this one next. It is currently 9:22, so the night is still young. I think I'm definitely going to finish this one tonight, but I will check back in when I have another update for you. I have finished We'll Always Have Summer. If you're a Conrad girly, this is the book for you. I adore this book because I adore Conrad. This was such a fun reread. It is 1 a.m. I'm tired. I will see you in the morning. There are a few things better than the first sip of coffee in the morning. Good morning, friends. It is morning, obviously. I woke up just before 8, like on my own, and it's about just after 8 now. I just got my first cup of coffee. I'm going to settle in and do some reading. I did want to briefly chat about last night because I think I was a little delirious, to be honest. I finished We'll Always Have Summer by Jenny Han. I did annotate it. I mean, I mostly just annotated when Conrad shares his feelings about Belly, because those are my favorite parts of this book. I love this series. It's very nostalgic. It's not for everyone. If you are an adult picking this up for the first time, it's probably not going to be your cup of tea, but if you have a teen in your life or you are a teen, this is a great series. It's super easy to read. It's a very fun, flirty. She deals with great topics about grief and losing people you love and discovering your first love for the first time and what it means to lose that. So I highly recommend for teens especially. But for me, I read it years and years and years ago, so every time I reread it, it just feels very nostalgic for me. So I'm very happy to have read that for the summer. And next, I think I'm going to pick up The Ballad of Darcy and Russell. I'm so excited about this one. I was going to read it with my sister, and her copy has not arrived yet, but I don't know if I can wait. I'm going to text her after I finish this clip and see if I can go ahead and start. I think this is what I'm going to start with. And then we'll see what I feel like after that, if I want to pick up Lady Midnight or if I want to jump into another KU book. We'll see where the day takes us. I have no plans today. These are my only plans. So I'm going to settle back in this little cozy spot behind me and get a lot of reading done. It looks a little overcast outside, so this is like the perfect day to settle into bed. Now I will say in Los Angeles, every morning in May and June is overcast, so we'll see if the sun comes out at all today, but it's feeling like a really perfect reading day. Okay, I just got to part 3 of The Ballad of Darcy and Russell. It's about 2/3 of the way in, and y'all, this is so flippin' cute. I have been giddy like from page 17. I am obsessed with Darcy and Russell. I love the twists and turns that it's taking. It's all taking place over one night, and they're both just about to start their first year of college, and their bus gets stranded in a small town and they're kind of stuck there. They go on an adventure and it's so cute. I love all the little timestamps. I already had to pull up my tabs because you can't even see that. But I've been tabbing like my favorite moments, my favorite lines. Morgan just does a fantastic job at character development, and some wild things happen that you're like, how can this keep going? But I just love to see what the characters decide with the choices that they're given. And I think that's the whole point of the book, is how one choice or one decision can change the trajectory of your life or the trajectory of your day or whatever it is. So I'm loving this book so much. I also got a sticker from her book release. Is that not so cute? I am flippin' obsessed. So I think I'm gonna finish this pretty quick. It is currently like 11 o'clock. So I'm gonna finish this up. I don't want it to end, but also like I have to see what happens. And I already know that I'm gonna reread this book. Like probably one of my top Morgan Matson books of all time. So things are going really well today. All right, my friends, we have changed clothes, we have changed locations, and we have finished the third book of this readathon. The Ballad of Darcy and Russell was so stinking cute. I love this book. This is giving me 5-star feels, and I have not given very many books 5 stars this year, like maybe 2. So very impressive for me that this was a 5-star book. I love Morgan's writing, the banter, they're so witty, like the characters are so witty. The swoon, my goodness, page 17, I was already like, I am swooning over these characters together, like they have to be together. I love that it was really unpredictable. It takes place over a 24-hour period of time, and they come in as strangers and are forced to kind of spend time together, like based off of one choice that they make. The trajectory of their next day goes in a completely different direction, and the trajectory of their lives. Just an interesting study on how one decision can change the course of your life and the course of your day. And I loved it so much. There is a playlist. I can't wait to go listen to it because I feel like it's going to get me more hyped for the vibes of this book. But yes, definitely loved this. This was a winner. Now next, I think I'm going to pick up Lady Midnight. I will not finish this book today. It's almost 700 pages, but I just want to be back in the Shadowhunter world so bad. It's just, this is the one that's calling to me right now, so this is what I'm going to go to. This picks up 5 years after The Mortal Instruments ends. We have seen these characters, Emma and Julian, in the last book of the Mortal Instruments series. They're kind of like side characters in that book, and they are the main characters in here. We pick up, as I said, 5 years later. I think this is going to be a little bit of a forbidden romance just based off of what I've read on the back. Julian and Emma are what they call parabatai, which is kind of like platonic soulmates. They take vows to one another to protect one another, to follow one another, to just be each other's like person. And it is forbidden for parabatai to fall in love with each other. So I think that's exactly where this book is going to go. They are 17, 18, 19, I think, in this book. I'm not quite sure so far, so I definitely will get more information as I jump into it, but I'm excited for this series. I'm terrified for this series. This is book 1 of 3. I just love the Shadowhunter world so much. I have seen the show. It's not good, but I love it so much. And I adore Shadowhunters. I adore the Mortal Instruments, so I can't wait to jump back in. And I will check back in probably when our time goes up, but if I have an update before then, I'll give you one. And that's time. 5 o'clock, 24-hour readathon done. All right, my friends, that is the end of the 24-hour readathon. Shall we do a little recap of what we read in this video? I started out yesterday reading Lady of Darkness. I think I had like 50% left when I started this challenge. I really enjoyed this book overall. I think it was a good time. I think I'm really intrigued as to where the story is going to go with our 2 main characters and where it left off. And some of it was a little bit predictable. That's fine. I don't mind predictability. It is a KU fantasy romance, so that's to be expected. I do feel like some of the writing techniques that were used were a little heavy-handed. I will definitely continue the series. Next, we read We'll Always Have Summer by Jenny Han. This is a reread for me. I really enjoyed this book, mostly because I'm Team Conrad, and this book, all about Conrad, and I love that. If you know, you know. Today I read The Ballad of Darcy and Russell. I loved this book, y'all. So cute, so witty. The banter is there, the chemistry is there, the swoon factor is like up here. I just had a great time reading this. I can't wait to reread it. If you like YA romance, pick this book up. And look at how cute this cover is. I can't get enough. This is such a good book. Then finally, I got about 250 pages into Lady of Midnight. I will keep reading this weekend. I think I'm really enjoying this. I am interested to see where this is gonna go, because I do think that one of our main characters has feelings for the other one, and maybe the other character doesn't know that this person has feelings for them. I don't know. I'm into it. I'm having a great time. I love being back in the Shadowhunter world. This is such a strong start to the next trilogy, and I'm having a great time. So overall, I'd say this readathon was incredibly successful. I was able to finish 3 books in this challenge and start a 4th, so to me that is a win. I had so much fun doing this challenge. If I ever have the house to myself again, I will definitely be doing another 24-hour readathon. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye!